So, picture this. It's Friday night. The kind of night where everything feels like it's hanging in the balance, like I'm about to step onto a stage for the performance of my life. Except the stage is my bedroom, and the performance is this crazy thing called a date. I'm standing in the middle of my room, surrounded by the chaos of my own making. Clothes tossed over chairs, headphones tangled like a nest of wires, and a mirror that's been my audience for the past hour. Tonight, I decide, is the night I finally get it right. I'm hyping myself up like I'm about to win a championship game. Music is blasting through my speakers, some playlist of pumped-up pop and nostalgic rock that's supposed to give me that extra edge. I strike a few goofy poses, trying to channel the confidence I don't really feel. Lamps are on, lights dimmed just enough to set a special night mood, but not so much that I look suspicious. I've tried on at least 5 outfits, an agonizing process fueled by indecision, and a borderline obsession with looking acceptable. First, the hoodie. Too casual. Looks like I'm trying too hard to be chill, like I don't care. Then the button-up shirt, which feels way too overdressed, like I'm about to attend a fancy business meeting rather than a casual dinner. Eventually, I settle somewhere in the middle. Dark jeans, a nice but not trying too hard shirt, and the jacket I throw on just in case I feel too nervous to breathe without it. And I need to get this right. Because tonight is the night I've been waiting for. Maybe for months even. Not just any night, not just a regular Friday. It's a date. With her. Her. The girl I've been secretly obsessed with. The one whose texts light up my phone and make my brain start doing this weird, repetitive Windows XP startup sound every time I see her name pop up. She's like the mainframe of my crush universe, and I've cycled through 1,000 daydreams about pulling off the perfect night with her. I've hyped her up so much in my head that she might as well be Beyoncé or a pop star I've placed on a pedestal. Honestly, I don't even know how I got here. How I managed to muster enough courage just to ask her out. Maybe it was a slow build-up. Months of liking her stories, commenting on her posts, trying to catch her attention when she wasn't looking. Or maybe it was just blind luck. A moment of clarity where I decided I'd rather regret trying than regret not trying at all. As I stand there pacing, I keep whispering to myself, "Don't screw this up. Be cool. Don't make a fool of yourself." Spoiler alert, I do all 3. Spectacularly. And yet, somehow, despite the internal chaos, I convince myself I've got this under control. I even manage to smooth down my hair, a rare victory, while trying to ignore the jittery feeling in my stomach. My sneakers are clean enough, my cologne is sprayed just right, and I give myself one last look in the mirror, trying to will some confidence into my reflection. The universe, however, has other plans. The moment I step out to pick her up, I realize I've forgotten something. Or maybe everything. I'm ahead of schedule. Unbelievable. So I decide to take a little extra time to breathe, to try to feel the night. That's when she finally texts me, saying she's about to head out. My heart skips a beat, and I scramble to get ready, trying not to appear too anxious. When she arrives, dressed to impress in a cute little dress that's just fancy enough without going overboard, my brain shorts out for a second. She looks incredible, more beautiful than I remembered. Or maybe all my focus has just been clouded by nerves. She steps out of her car, giving me that small, genuine smile that makes my knees weak. In that moment, everything else fades away. I'm not just some guy trying to impress a girl. No, I'm the guy who's about to have a chance at something real. At least I tell myself that. We walk into this cozy Italian restaurant. Dim lighting, flickering candles, the scent of garlic and basil filling the air. The kind of place with tiny tables that seem to squeeze couples close together, almost like they're sharing secrets through the flickering glow. We're led to a small table tucked in a corner, where I can't help but feel like I've been transported into some romantic movie scene. I try to pretend I'm relaxed, but my stomach is doing somersaults. She takes a seat across from me, and her eyes sparkle as she surveys the place. A gentle smile plays on her lips, and I feel myself relaxing just a little more, trying to soak in the moment. Our waiter comes over with a menu, and I stumble a bit while trying to choose. I go for a soda, thinking it's safe. Perhaps too safe. But I notice her order a pink cocktail topped with fruit slices and a tiny umbrella. It looks like it belongs in a tropical paradise, not a small Italian bistro. The drinks arrive, and the small candle between us flickers, casting warm light across her face. She takes a sip of her cocktail, eyes twinkling as she flashes that easy, confident smile. I copy her, trying not to seem nervous, but inside, I'm trying to hold down a roller coaster of nerves. We start talking, actually talking, and to my surprise, it's a lot easier than I'd anticipated. She laughs at my jokes, not just polite chuckles, but full, genuine laughter. Her laughter makes me feel like I've just scored a game-winning point, like I've finally cracked the code to her smile, even if just for this moment. The conversation flows, and for a while, it's like we're old friends catching up, not two strangers on a first date. I feel the tension melt away, replaced by this strange, wonderful feeling. The feeling of being right where I want to be. Everything seems perfect. Her laugh, the soft glow of candles, the smell of fresh basil in the air. We're seated, and I try my best to keep it cool. I fumble slightly when ordering drinks, choosing a soda just to play it safe, while she orders a stunning pink cocktail garnished with fruit that looks like it belongs in a magazine. As our drinks arrive, the mellow glow of the candlelight flickers across her face, making her look even more stunning. I take a sip of my soda, trying to act like I've done this 100 times before. Inside, though, I'm panicking, clinging to the hope that I can keep the nerves in check. Miraculously, we start talking. Real talking. She laughs at my dumb jokes, and I feel that sweet rush of confidence I hadn't realized I missed. For a fleeting moment, I think maybe I'll pull this off. Then, it happens. I reach for my soda, entirely unaware of my elbow inching closer to the table's edge. My arm catches the side of the glass, and in a cruel twist of fate, everything slows down. The glass teeters, wobbles, and then launches forward like a missile. I watch in horror as the brown liquid arcs through the air, ice cubes bouncing and splashing in slow motion. My brain is already screaming, "Stop! Don't do this!" But it's too late. The glass tips over, spilling all its chaos onto her dress. A silky, beautiful fabric that I now realize probably costs more than my monthly paycheck. The high-class romantic dinner suddenly turns into a slapstick disaster. She freezes mid-sentence, wide-eyed as if she's caught in a soap opera climax. People around us gasp, some in shock, others in silent amusement. My heart pounds so loudly I'm afraid everyone in the restaurant can hear it. All I can think about is how I want to sink into the floor. And then, I say the only thing I can think of in that moment. "Oh my God, you're so hydrated now?" Yeah, that was a classic me moment, completely absurd, totally inappropriate, and utterly pathetic. The waiter rushes over with a mountain of napkins, looking like he's seen this before. Probably nightmare scenarios like mine. I start dabbing her dress, feeling like a medieval servant lost in a sitcom. Apologies tumble out of my mouth in a broken loop. "I'm so sorry. It's going to come out. Really, really sorry." She doesn't get angry. She doesn't storm out. Instead, she bursts out laughing. A deep, genuine laugh that fills the whole table. Not that fake, polite chuckle you give when you're trying to be gracious. No, this was pure, unfiltered laughter, belly shaking, eyes tearing. I can't believe this is happening sort of hilarity. And suddenly, just like that, I relax. We're rolling with it now. She's sitting there, soggy dress and all, holding her pink cocktail like it's a security blanket. And I'm desperately throwing out more lame jokes, trying to turn catastrophe into comedy. "Hey, at least you won't be thirsty tonight," I say, earning a burst of laughter. "Free laundry day?" I add, cracking myself up with how bad that was. She laughs again, louder now, with that beautiful sparkle in her eyes. I don't know if she's laughing at me or with me, but I honestly don't care. It's better than the tense, awkward silence that would have followed if I just sat there mortified. When the check finally arrives, I figure I might as well try to salvage some dignity. I look at her and casually ask, "So, dessert?" She arches an eyebrow. "Only if it comes with a rain poncho." Laughter escapes me, and in that moment, I realize I'm actually enjoying the disaster. We step outside into the night, and I, of course, make my way to her car with a swagger that's more about trying to look confident than actually feeling it. But of course, here comes the familiar curb, the one I've tripped over more times than I can count. I aim to walk confidently, but my feet have other plans. Arms flail wildly as I stumble forward, almost face-planting into the pavement. The world spins around me. She looks at me, calm and unmoved, as if I'm just another part of her evening's entertainment. "Wow," she says, deadpan. "You're consistent." And despite the humiliation swelling inside me, I can't help but chuckle at her dry humor. The moment is absurd, and I realize she's more relaxed than I am about the whole thing. Maybe that's what I like about her, her ability to laugh at chaos. I stumble again as I step onto the curb, arms flailing in a desperate attempt to stay upright. Almost face first, I brace for impact, but somehow, I don't land flat. She watches, amused, as I recover, more out of luck than skill. "You know," she says, smirking, "whether you nailed it or totally bombed, you've definitely made an impression." I laugh, nervously brushing myself off. "Well, I guess I'm just consistent. Despite everything, and I mean everything." She just smiles in that easygoing way of hers. There's no anger, no disgust, just amusement. And honestly, that's a relief. Because I'm pretty sure I've done enough damage for one night. The soda splashes, the curb trips, the awkward jokes. Surprisingly, she looks over at me and says, "You know, I was kind of expecting a disaster tonight. But honestly, I think it made the night more memorable." Memorable. I take a deep breath, still trying to process that. All my worst fears, that I'd embarrass myself beyond repair, had somehow turned into a funny story. Or maybe a good story. I wasn't quite sure which. Either way, I'm grateful she's laughing rather than walking away. She leans against her car and smirks. "So, what's your secret? How do you manage to be so unpredictably consistent?" I grin and shrug. "Maybe I just like to keep things interesting." She laughs again, loud and genuine, and I feel a wild surge of relief. From that night forward, everything shifted a little. We started talking more, texting, laughing at silly memes, sharing stories about our terrible days. That initial disaster somehow became a bridge, proof that I was willing to be vulnerable, to be myself, no matter how messy I might be. We went out again, and this time, I was a little less anxious. Yeah, I still tripped over the curb once or twice more, but I also learned to relax, to actually enjoy the moment. She appreciated my honesty, the fact that I was unfiltered, imperfect, and completely myself. The soda incident became our inside joke, a testament to how a total mess could sometimes lead to something real. And maybe, just maybe, that's what she liked about me. The guy who wasn't afraid to be all the way himself, even if that meant soaking his date's dress with soda and risking an all-out faceplant on a curb. Because in the end, it wasn't about being perfect. It was about being genuine, about laughing when things go wrong, and recognizing that sometimes, the biggest disasters can turn into the most meaningful moments. Looking back, I realized that night was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Sure, I was a disaster, completely, unapologetically hydrated and clumsy. But I was also authentic. I learned that sometimes, the messiest, most embarrassing moments are the ones that make the best stories. And those stories, if shared with someone who appreciates the real you, can actually turn into something pretty amazing. So here's the truth. If you're about to embarrass yourself, don't hesitate. Go all in. Be the train wreck you were always meant to be. Because you never know. Your biggest mess might just be the start of something unexpectedly good. And as for next Friday, well, maybe I'll bring extra napkins, just in case.